Lesson 2 is dealing with expressions which have more than one thing happening in them, so multi-step expressions. So the first one I want to look at is something like 2x plus 1. And what we're trying to do is to, like we did in the last lesson, is we want to write this out as the process of what is happening to x to make 2x plus 1. So what we're going to have to do is break it down into what's everything that's happening to x here, and then importantly in what order is it happening as well. Okay. So we're going to have to use our BODMAS rules here. BODMAS, a quick recap: brackets, order, which is your powers, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. And this is the order that we carry out calculations in. So we're going to have to be able to use our BODMAS as well to identify what it is we're going to do first in our process of what is happening to x. So something like 2x plus 1, we're going to start off with our x as we did before. Now, if I look at the expression 2x plus 1, I can see that x is sitting beside the 2, which means it's multiplying by 2, and I also have this plus 1. Now in BODMAS tells me that this multiplication step will come before the addition step. So when I'm writing out my process, my multiplication comes first. Okay, so the multiply by 2 comes first. Now when I do x multiplied by 2, I end up with the 2x part. So I'm on the right lines here. The next thing is the add 1. Okay, so I'll put my add 1 in. So I had 2x at this point. I then add 1, so I end up with 2x plus 1. Okay, so this is describing everything that's happening to x in the correct order to make 2x plus 1. Now when we go to solve equations, we're going to look at an expression and see how we can undo an expression. So it's really important we can understand what an expression means, so what processes are involved in an expression. So the next one I want to look at is 5x minus 4, or 5x subtract 4. So same again, I'm going to look at my expression first, the 5x minus 4. I'm going to identify everything that's happening here. So x sitting beside a 5 with nothing in between, meaning that the 5 is multiplying x. So we've got a multiply by 5. We've also got a subtract 4. I then look at my BODMAS and I see that multiply comes before subtract. So I'm going to have to do the times by 5, then subtract 4. So my process of what is happening to x is that x has been multiplied by 5 first, and then we are subtracting 4, which gives us 5x minus 4. Okay. Next one I want to look at is what happens when we have x over 3 plus 2. Okay. So again, the same idea. I want to just look at everything that's happening in this expression. So I have an x over 3. Now if you remember back to last lesson, x over 3 just means I'm dividing x by 3. So I've got a divide by 3 there, and then I've got an add 2. Okay, so in BODMAS, division comes before addition, so I must do the divide before I add. So if I was to write out the process here, x is first divided by 3, and then we add 2 to whatever we get when we do x divided by 3. So at this point we get x over 3, then we add 2, so x over 3 add 2. There we go. Okay. And the last one I want to look at is what happens if we get something like, this is kind of more your extension type, you're really understanding what an expression is telling you. So in this case I've just changed the order of my expression. I don't have my x term first, I have my x term second. I just want to look at this and see, right, what is happening to x in this expression though? Well, x it's been multiplied by 3 because the x is sitting beside the 3, so it's been multiplied by 3, and I have an add 2. So I've got a multiplication and I've got an addition. Now if I look at my BODMAS again, multiplication comes before addition, so I still do the times first. So x, the first thing I would do here is x times 3, then add 2. So although I've written them in a different order, it doesn't actually change anything. I could rewrite it as 3x plus 2 if I want to. So those two mean the same thing. Those two. Okay, so the fact I've written a different order, still I need to look at the expression, say I've got a multiply and I've got an addition, so I do it in that order. So in this case I've got an x, I multiply by 3 first to get the 3x part, 3 times x gives you 3x, and then I do my add 2, which gives me 3x plus 2, or I could write it in the other order like they've got there. I could rewrite it in the form, I'll do this in black, I could rewrite that as 2 plus 3x. Okay, so those two mean the same thing because I'm doing the same two processes. I multiply by 3 and then add 2, and split all, and no matter what way I've written it around,